coloured in the dulled browns of his Dutch Noonan palette. The paint is thickly knifed, the pigment-clogged brush visibly scrubbed across the canvas next to vigorously cross-hatched textures. The brushwork is graceless, brutish, honest. So are the boots. They sit exhausted, reluctantly ordered like chided children, right and left in place, the battered leather robust and defiant, and the long-worn uppers curled from use. The laces are tightly threaded, but left strewn, resting in the gleaming eyelets they have pierced. The lolling tongues dip into each boot's dark internal recess. And yet they have the grace of the sunlit earth on which they rest. They rest. These boots have walked, have worked, and though they come to rest here on this sunlit earth, they are only momentarily stilled, as though they might labour yet with ragged breath. The German philosopher Martin Heidegger, seeing the painted boots in an exhibition, wrote of them in an essay of 1950. He feared and romanticised them, projecting onto them the toilsome tread of the worker and the menace of death. The shoes, he claimed exultantly, contained a world full of ripening grain and fallow wintry fields. On the leather, he wrote, lie the dampness and richness of the soil. Under the soles slides the loneliness of the field path as evening falls. In the shoes vibrates the silent call of the earth. But perhaps the world they contained was less even than this, and more profound. The boots are simple and entreating, piercing us with their visible fatigue. They ask us to imagine the life of feet, conjured as they are by Van Gogh's hand. But walking and painting were always bound together for him. As a child, he had roamed the fields and woodlands of Brabant, feeling the colours of sky, marsh, heath and sand resonate with unspoken tone and atmosphere. When in 1890 he suffered a breakdown, he sought solace and tranquillity in the grounds around Auvers-sur-Oise, painting landscapes palpably freighted with an emotional charge. Sometimes I long so much to do landscape, he wrote, just as one would for a long walk to refresh oneself, and in all of nature, in trees for instance, I see expression and a soul, as it were. In July 1890, he walked out into the wheat fields around Auvers for the last time and shot himself in the chest. The denim jacket. Take me to the centre of everything, is what she demanded apparently when she first arrived to New York City in 1978, clambering into a taxi. The driver deposited her in Times Square. She found a job in Dunkin' Donuts before being fired for squirting jam into a customer's face. It's an apocryphal story, but you believe it and have a sense of how well she would retell it, laughing wickedly. She is fearlessly, unstoppably fun, and almost feline in her daring, confident that she'll land on her feet and right herself whatever risks she takes. Madonna lived in the Lower East Side of Manhattan and in Corona, a neighbourhood in Queens, during the early 1980s. By the time of Borderline, the fifth single from her first album titled Madonna, she had dated the artist Jean-Michel Basquiat, was kicking around with Andy Warhol and the Beastie Boys, hanging out at Studio 54, Danceteria and the Pyramid Club. Her style in those first years was boho punk, both feminine and tomboyish, cool, carelessly sexy, fingerless gloves and string vests, a jumble of jewellery, jackets you could leave behind on the subway, on a dance floor, in a Brooklyn apartment at 4 a.m. Borderline was released in 1984. In the video to the track, she is a messy blonde, her hair a peroxide tangle with visible roots, topped by an orange-red headband tied in an impudent bow. She pairs a tangerine vest with baggy black cargo pants, dressed up with fluorescent socks and an armful of bangles. She finishes the look with a sleeveless denim jacket, oversized, as though she's borrowed it and has no intention of returning it. The whole ensemble has the haphazardness of a spree around a thrift shop, and a certain poise, too. The video begins with her dancing under a bridge, bopping with her cute